Hi, everyone. Welcome in. It is the Unash and Dukes podcast coming your way here on our YouTube channel. Unash and Dukes podcast. Go ahead and enter that. When you're watching the videos, listening to them, go ahead and subscribe. Makes things a lot easier for you to find all the videos out there. And we do appreciate that. We appreciate everybody and all the great comments. Everybody with adding their little 2 cents worth, which is usually good. I'm Scott. He's Mark. We are presented by Emil's Hideaway, First Avenue Southeast in Cedar Rapids. Open at 4 o'clock Monday through Saturday, right across from the Lindale Mall and next to the Home Depot. They have catering as well. They are the presenting sponsor of the gym class. Old habits die hard. Hey, that was the first one, right?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah. Well, may not be the last. I might goof up there before it's over, but I
Oh,
like
man.
that's good.
Yeah. Of the Unash Dukes podcast. And we thank you for tuning in. Big thanks to Hunt Graphic Innovations, Dr. John Woolner at Epiphany Dermatology, Bim Ritter Sportswear, and Kurt Gustafson, Agency of American Family Insurance on Johnson Avenue Northwest in Cedar Rapids. Also, great sponsors and supporters of ours. And you can go to YouTube, you can go to crmlivesports.com, see all the back episodes of the program. You can also follow us, and we encourage you to do so: Instagram, Twitter, and on Facebook. And a lot to cover here today. We start things off with college basketball. Iowa women continue to set the pace in the Big Ten Conference. Iowa yesterday with a resounding 91-70 victory over the Ohio State Buckeyes. Or no, yes, 91-70. See what happens when you say that other thing and then you don't. Should have put my glasses on. 91-70. Hawkeyes get a win. But it may have been a costly win, Mark, as and it didn't take very long either for Taylor McCabe to go down. And you've seen them, I've seen them so often. And usually when in women's basketball, a lot more than men. And also just the way the injury looked in a non-contact situation, those are usually not good. And Jan Jensen was saying that very thing after the game. Nothing official has come out from Iowa City as of yet. MRI was done on Sunday night. They may be waiting for some swelling to go down, but Jan was hoping that the news would be good, but she was kind of fearing it would not be good.
Yeah, and as we're talking right now, we don't know the severity of the injury and nor the severity to her sister who suffered an injury playing for Drake, and, almost 60 to 90 minutes apart from one another. But it's unfortunate, obviously, for McCabe and for Iowa. It takes away some depth for this basketball team that is actually very deep. And that's one of the aspects that have come out about this team. It's very deep, very versatile. Without McCabe, obviously Addie Deal is going to come in, and she did on Sunday, and continues to play exceptional basketball. I really like watching her. I think she's terrific, living up to her billing. Has taken a little while to get her acclimated to the game and whatnot, but second straight week she's Big Ten Freshman of the Week, and 20 points, career high. Uh, and then you have Ava Hayden. She's the Big Ten Player of the Week. This is a strong conference. It has what, 8 or 9 ranked teams. This is a strong conference for Iowa to get a couple awards. Last week it was Deal and Hannah Stolke. Uh, I think it's a very versatile team, one without a star that I think is obviously doing some great things that haven't been done in 30 years. It's a tough week. It goes out west, which Addie Deal will like, her being from out there. But USC and UCLA coming up this week. But 3 straight wins over top 15 teams and a top 10 team in the polls. a high seed in bracketology. Say whatever you want. This is a really good Iowa women's basketball team.
It is. And you mentioned Addie Deal, and her playing time obviously went up on Sunday. And if McCabe is out for an extended period of time, her playing time is going to go up. Fortunately, a couple of things. Number one, Addie Deal is a 5-star recruit and a terrific freshman and a terrific basketball player. Number two, I guess, and you even hate to speculate about this, but the timing of the injury, if this is something that happened in early December, Addie Deal wasn't quite as acclimated to the college game as she is right now. I guess the only silver lining in this is that the injury did occur in late January, going into the last month of the regular season, basically. So you've got Addie Deal fully acclimated, playing her best basketball at Iowa right now. Um, is it going to be a loss? Yes, because you're losing a senior leader. And I don't know if that's the last time we'll see McCabe on the basketball court for Iowa or not. I don't ever want to speculate on what the NCAA might do with injuries. And, it's quite a ways into the season. Not sure she's going to be able to get that back, but who knows, Mark, in this day and age. You'll see, I mean, also, I was getting, a couple players back off of injury. Milani's coming back. Will this mean Levine gets a couple of minutes here and there? Could be. When Feuerbach was down, we saw Callie Levine a little bit. You're right. This is a very deep Iowa team. It's not other than Hannah Stulke and McCabe. It's not really a senior dominated team. It's very young, but they're getting better and better. And I think the confidence is growing with this team as well. Addie Deal certainly looks like she's much more confident than she was earlier in the year. You're always going to get Hannah Stulke. That's a given. Hayden and Hayes in the middle, doing a very good job right now. Chit Chat Wright is really, really picked up her game. And not just because she's hitting half court shots, but tell you what, she runs that show about as good as anybody in the Big Ten. And probably going to have to pick it up a little bit more if McCabe is going to be out for an extended period of time. And not ready to anoint this team as a Final Four team yet, but they're getting better and better, Mark.
Yeah, I think you make a great point about Chit Chat Right because you really need a solid point guard, not in the mold of a Caitlin Clark, because Iowa saw that for a number of years. But she's a different type player, but she has shown that she can hit a three-point shot. She distributes the basketball well. She hustles, doesn't, have has no attitude whatsoever. It's just play basketball. And you're right, with the guards, Kylie Feuerbach, we haven't really mentioned one of those players, the leftovers from those great teams, along with Hannah Stokey. Terrific defensive player. She overcame a little bit of an injury and now is back, and she can hit a three every now and then. But her game is defense, and she does it very well. But in terms of versatility, what I'm saying is, you have those players that can hit three-point shots, Deal, Chit Chat Right, Feuerbach, whoever, Stremlo. But you also have that high-low game, which if you notice every now and then, Hayden will pop to the post and hit Stokey underneath or vice versa. That's tough to stop. And when Hayden can pop a 15-footer when they lay off her, I mean, there's a lot of very nice aspects to this offense, I think, and uh, defense has its moments, but by and large, it's been pretty good too.
West Coast swing coming up, as
Yep.
you mentioned. USC and UCLA. No, there's no Juju Watkins this year for USC. The record not as sterling as it would have been if Juju was there, but it is still USC in LA. It's not going to be easy. And then Lauren Betts and UCLA after that, and they have just been absolutely manhandling people. Uh, and it's not only Betts; it's others for UCLA that You when you talk about the big three this year in women's college basketball, it's obviously UConn, South Carolina, who absolutely thrashed Vanderbilt yesterday, who was number five, and then UCLA. I think those are the big three right now. You never want to say if you take one out of two on that trip, are you happy? Because you want to win everything. But if you gave Jan Jensen and Iowa the opportunity to take one out of two, I think you probably take it and not even fly out there to Southern California, unless you really want to enjoy the weather, which is a lot better than the junk here.
Yeah, USC is more doable than UCLA, but the one thing about remember back to the when Iowa played at UConn, and I think we said, nothing but good can come out of this game. Now Iowa got thrashed. UConn is thrashing a lot of people, but that experience going to UConn, playing the number one team in the country, I'm not sure that Iowa is going to be phased going to UCLA an awful lot.
No, I would agree. No reason to be. No reason to be. So, Hawkeye women doing things they haven't done in a long, long time with this start in the Big Ten Conference. Like we said in our last podcast, even better than some of the records they put up with Caitlin Clark, but she's a
Hmm.
member of this team. So Iowa doing well. Iowa State starting to get back into it. Mark getting healthier now. Brown still not back, but everybody else for the most part back, which is helping Audie Crooks. Uh, got back at Cincinnati for that loss, certainly. After losing what five in a row, Iowa State is starting to come back, and they're going to be fine as far as the Big 12 is concerned.
Probably an NCAA tournament team, but with five losses in the league, that's tough to make up, especially with some other quality teams. Are an Oklahoma team that beat South Carolina last week, but it is getting healthier. I'm not sure if Brown is going to be back. If she does, all the better. But this is a nice Iowa State basketball team, not a great one.
Could have been with Brown. Remember that team beat Iowa in Ames, so
Hmm.
that back in December. God, those games seem like they were a year ago. Well, they were
Hmm.
calendar wise, but it seemed like they're a long, long time ago. But
So
women's
was the
college,
gym class, Scott.
yeah, I know. Women's college basketball going very, very well. Big thanks to Evil's Hideaway, First Avenue Southeast in Cedar Rapids, our presenting sponsor. Couldn't do it without them. Stop on by, say hi. They're a classic local American restaurant, and they've got a fully stocked bar, and as I mentioned, catering, and open at 4 o'clock Monday through Saturday. Thank you to Jamie and Chris and everybody over there at Evil's Hideaway. We now know the Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara will be the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. You had that at the start of the year on your sheet of paper. Congratulations to you because I certainly did not. And I can't imagine anybody, even the experts out there, Mark, thought it was going to be Seattle and New England. I went 0 for 2 on Sunday. I was completely wrong. You got one out of them. So, again, analytics raised its ugly head in the AFC game. And that NFC championship game was about as good as it could get. And people are saying that was the Super Bowl. I kind of said that on Friday. I thought that was going to be the Super Bowl. I think they're the best two teams. We'll see what Mike Vrabel has to say.
Yeah, I don't know how anybody could have predicted this matchup. New England won four games last year, and now it finds itself in what 12th Super Bowl. Uh, that's saying something. Mike Vrabel has done such a terrific job. He's got experience as a player. Now that's translated as a head coach. Seattle was really impressive. I mean, the Rams and Seattle played two very close games in the regular season, and this one delivered much the same way. It probably could have went either way, but if you expected Sam Darnold to fold, he didn't. Played very well. Terrific receivers on each side. My goodness, it's so fun to watch those guys. I thought a big difference was Kenneth Walker, the third, the running back from Seattle, out of Michigan State. And I think he could be the difference in the Super Bowl too. The Seahawks favored by 4.5 points, I think I read. Um, but I think, the knee-jerk reaction on Sunday was that, oh, the Seattle should have no problem against New England. I mean, be careful what you think because New England's played its best defense in the postseason. And take that weather elements out of that game in Denver. I mean, that contributed greatly to the quality of play. You couldn't throw the football. You couldn't kick it. Somebody should have kicked it in the second quarter, but before the snow came, that's an entirely different discussion. But I think it's going to be a pretty good Super Bowl. I would have to go with Seattle at this point too, but right now I'm just interested to see what kind of squares I get in my pool.
That's the big thing. New England is ahead of the curve. And look, New England played the easiest schedule in the NFL this year,
They did.
but you got to win those games, right? They won the games. Um, it wasn't exactly a murderer's row as far as the playoffs are concerned. CJ Stroud, I think, just threw another interception. They didn't have to go up against Bo Nix. Um, Jared Stidham came out and for the scripted plays that they worked on all week, Jared Stidham looked like, not a big drop off from Bo Nix. Went down, took Denver down, scored a touchdown um, pretty easily on that second drive. First drive did very well also. Hit a 50+ yard pass. When the scripted plays ran out and Mike Vrabel in New England made some adjustments, that's when things went south for Denver. And then, as you mentioned, the weather. I'll ask you, Mark. A lot of people, including Cedar of Pity and Kurt Warner, made comments that this weather should not happen. These championship games should be in a climate controlled situation. I say baloney to that. Denver Broncos earned the number one seed. They earned the home field. The Seattle Seahawks earned the number one seed. Why do you take that away from them and put it, at the Superdome in New Orleans and make it just that much easier for the underdog to come away with a victory? No, Denver did not win. I don't think it had, everything to do with the weather. That's a part of it. One of our favorite sayings, Mark, rub of the green. Sometimes your ball lands when you don't want it to in the middle of a divot after a perfect drive. Happened to me last summer at an inopportune time. And there's not a whole lot you can do about it. You gotta deal with it. And the Patriots and the Broncos had to deal with it yesterday.
No, I tend to, not because we do this together, but I side with you rather than Warner because if you had neutral fields, that would take away the importance of the regular season. I mean, in the previous rounds, the Bears had a great advantage because they had a second seed and got a home game and beat Green Bay, got a home game in not favorable conditions and nearly beat the Rams. Same thing, if that was all true, why didn't Denver win the game? Uh, Denver had the home field advantage. It had the advantage of, conditions like that. Now, they probably would have been worse in New England,
Oh yeah.
looking at the weather yesterday. But no, I think home field advantage should mean something. That's what you play for in the regular season. And I like it the way it is. But, would that game have been in Denver been different had it not snowed? Maybe, maybe.
Maybe, but I don't know. Jared Stidham, when the pass rush came in, he looked like a career backup
Yep.
out there. And New England's got a terrific pass rush. This New England team is really, really talented. They don't have a lot of household names that you know. Gonzalez may be the best corner, not named Patrick Surtain, in the National Football League. He is really, really good. They've got really good pass rushers. a terrific linebacking core, a young but a very talented offensive line, um, two really good running backs, and a really good young quarterback.
Hmm.
This is a New England team. I'm not saying they're going to be the next Tom Brady dynasty, but because Drake May didn't look great yesterday, and it wasn't the greatest conditions. We all understand that. But even when it was nice yesterday, he was missing guys. His first real big game as a New England Patriot quarterback. But I'm with you. I don't think this is going to be a slam dunk for Seattle. I think that they're going to be heavily favored. They don't have to travel very far. Going from Seattle to Santa Clara, they played in this stadium many, many times, playing the 49ers. Seems like everything is kind of twisting the way of the 12th man in the Seattle Seahawks at this point. But Patriots are going to be around for a while.
Yeah, you would think so anyway, with a young quarterback like Drake May and terrific coach in Vrabel. I think they've done a good job in the draft. They've done a good job in free agency, and that's how you get to the Super Bowl. But I don't think this is going to be a slam dunk in the Super Bowl by any means. But um, yeah, I always look for the Iowa angles, and one of the great ones that I see is on the New England doesn't have any Iowa players or Iowa State players. Eric Saubert, Scott, out of Drake. He's a backup tight end and special teams player, and with his eighth team, he's got 3 touchdown passes in his career. He caught a big 2-point conversion in the last one of the last games of the regular season that when Seattle beat the Rams. That was probably his highlight of the season. But this guy toils. He's 31, 32 years old. Again, played at Drake, not your Alabama or Ohio State or whatever. But I just love stories like this. A guy who's been around such a long, former Bear legend, by the way. He did play for the Bears. Uh, but yeah, I just think that's a great story. And there's an Iowa angle for you, number 81 for Seattle.
There you go. If you want to take that approach to the Super Bowl, we got 2 weeks of hype left, Mark,
We
before the
do.
Super Bowl.
Shouldn't
Uh,
waste it all at once, right?
no, shouldn't waste it all at once. Uh, it is set Super Bowl 60. It'll be New England taking on Seattle. While that was going on, there was a golf tournament yesterday that did have some significance. Not just because of the fact that number one in the world, Scotty Scheffler, was playing with an 18-year-old in the final group named Blades, Blades Brown, who now everybody seemingly knows, but Blades, I'm not sure. He had to Monday qualify today to get into the Farmers Insurance. I'm not sure how he did, but we wish him the best. But milestone yesterday in the world of golf, Scotty Scheffler becomes the second youngest to win 20 events on the PGA Tour, just trailing El Tigre at the top and Tiger Woods. But um, I don't know if we're to the it's Scotty's world and we're just living in it moment like we did in the early 2000s with Tiger, but we're getting darn close to this. And he won with a double bogey by 4 shots.
Well, you and I being fantasy owners of Scotty Scheffler last year, yeah, we made a couple bucks. And the person that Pete, you got him this year, you're going to make a couple bucks too. I'm not ready to go into that Nicholas Tiger category yet, but when those are the only two other guys who have won 20 events and 4 majors before the age of 30, Nicholas, Woods, and Scheffler. You can go on down the list of what Scheffler has done, but man, oh man, under 30 and doing what he's done and dominating the way he did in that tournament, that's a tough. Now, scoring conditions are really good, but it's on 3 different courses. Um, he can win about anywhere and has demonstrated that. I think maybe in a year or two, if he continues doing what he's doing, maybe we can enter that category. But the records of Nicholas and Woods are still a ways out there yet.
He's got 60 more wins to accumulate
Yeah,
on the PGA Tour. Now, I'm not saying he can't do it, and you can go till your mid 40s and still be very, very effective. He's got 15 more years. He just turned 30.
yeah.
So good luck to the rest of the PGA Tour. Did you fall in love with Blades Brown like everybody else?
Well, look, I mean, this weekend we had a 23-year-old play for Alabama after playing in the G League the week before, a 24-year-old who declared he's going to play his eighth year for Miami football next year, and we had an 18-year-old in the hunt to win a golf tournament. That's called fun with ages. No, I like this kid, and he had he had a junior career much like Tiger Woods did in terms of winning the junior amateur and the U.S. amateur, at least placing in the top couple. So he's a great talent, and I love his personality. If you listen to any of his interviews, he's mature beyond his age, much more mature than when I was 18, and maybe when I was 50. I don't know, but at any rate, he's a great young player. Doesn't have much status out there, but he's going to get there.
Yeah, he's going to be on the Corn Ferry Tour for most of the year. In fact,
Yeah.
people are telling him to stay on the Corn Ferry Tour. I believe they're off again this week, so that's why he's trying to Monday qualify. But that's pretty much what all the experts are telling this young man to do. Get your get your schedule, get it so that you know the rigors of playing on the golf tours, because it is not easy going from port to port each week like that. So we'll see what he does, but at least for 1 week, everybody knew who Blades Brown was, and came within a half an inch of a 59 as well
Yeah.
on Friday. Thought he was going to get it. Had three opportunities, especially a big one on 18, and could not quite track it down. But I was trying to imagine myself and what my heartbeat rate would be. Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to draw the putter back going for a 59.
Yeah. Some people try to break 60 in 9 holes. Man, doing it at 18 holes is something else. But golf yields so many great stories, and we've talked about a lot of them over the years. But this week's going to be Brooks Koepka.
That's right. It's all
He's
about
back from the
Brooks.
Live Tour, and yeah,
And the fact that after winning on the DP World Tour yesterday, the former golfer known as Captain America, Patrick Reed, made it pretty much known that he would like to be back on the PGA Tour, and his contract is up too. So, tell you what, 2027 is going to bring a lot of changes in the world of golf. New schedule. Who knows what events are going to be there? What events may go away? What events may go to the fall? What the schedule is going to look like as they play Let's Avoid Football. And we're going to have, I think, several live biggies coming back to the PGA Tour to join Brooks Koepka. So,
and by 27, Tiger Woods will thrive on the Champions Tour.
well, when he wants to, when he wants to,
True.
he's got to get over the injuries first. Uh, do want to close things out here today on a little bit of a down note. Um, One of the legends, true legendary coaches, and really sports figures, I think, Mark in Eastern Iowa, passed away over the weekend, and that would be Dennis Olenczak, the long time, and I mean long time baseball coach up in Decorah, um, and won numerous state championships, took the Vikings to the state tournament many, many times. Just a fixture in Decorah. Of course, the father of two terrific athletes, Lon Olenczak and Jason Olenczak. You and I both know Lon, and condolences going out to the Olenczak family. But what a life and what a legacy that Dennis Olenczak leaves up there in Northeast Iowa.
Yeah, just incredible. And I never crossed paths with Dennis Olenczak, but you could not help but know of him. Uh, you said he's a legend, much like Jim Van Scoy was at Norway, much like Larry Niemeyer was in softball, the nation's winningest high school softball coach. Those guys were legends. And Dennis Olenczak was just that. Back in 1970 and uh, getting his first state championship against Cedar Rapids Jefferson, a 2-0 ball game, and then went on to multiple state tournament appearances, state championships. And I think it's amazing because he ranks number two in all-time wins. Number one is Gene Schultz from Lansing Key. Those are two towns way up there in northeast Iowa, about 30 minutes apart, 30 miles apart. Probably takes 45 minutes because of the winding roads, but
Yes.
up about 30 minutes apart. And these two guys just ruled baseball diamonds in the high school ranks for years and years and years. I'd love to know what their head-to-head record was against one another.
Hey, trust me, they knew.
They probably met and walk on for coffee and talked about it. I don't know.
Yeah. How about yeah, stand up Winneshiek County, uh, up there in far northeast Iowa. But man, and just a terrific gentleman. They called him the Bear. Um, you know, yeah, was he gruff? Absolutely. Was he tough? Absolutely. But you know, just a guy that also cared a great deal about his players. And like I said, was the father of two athletes that went on to play at the University of Iowa. Lon was and Jason. Lon probably a little bit more known than Jason, but the older of the two. And he got a lot of playing time on the football field for Iowa. He was kind of that combination guy. He punted at times for Iowa during his career for Hayden Fry.
Tight end, punter, former Gazette Athlete of the Year. When he was coming out of Decorah, terrific all-around athlete. Reminded me a lot of Marv Cook, or Marv Cook reminded me of Lon, however you want to say it, but just great all-around athletes. And he did have a nice career at Iowa, but Dennis Olenczak, terrific career. You can't say enough about him.
No, you cannot. And our condolences out to the entire family on his passing. So, well, we'll get back together on Wednesday. Mark Ironside will join us. A happier Mark Ironside, I would have to think. Iowa going over to Lincoln and beating Nebraska on Friday night. He did not have to jump in freezing cold water afterwards. So,
Not that we
win,
know of.
not that we know of. Win-win for Mark. And we'll talk about that and all things wrestling on the college side coming up on Wednesday on the Unash and Dukes podcast. Big thanks to Emel's Hideaway, our presenting sponsor, Kurt Gustafson Agency of American Family Insurance, Bim Ritter Sportswear, Hunt Graphic Innovations, and Dr. John Woolner at Epiphany Dermatology for all of their help. Go and not only tune and view this particular podcast, but you can see all of the archived podcasts. Just go to Unash and Dukes podcasts on YouTube or go to crmlivesports.com. All right, Mark, we'll talk midweek.
You got to talk to him.
All right, this has been the Unash and Dukes podcast. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you next time.